Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Test. 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 Okay, everybody, it's good to have you all with us this morning. I think I'll start a little bit earlier than normal, just because I've got a few more announcements. And the announcements are, first of all, I'd just like to explain a little bit about the 4-week pranayama course. I've been doing a lot of research into this, and there's been a few developments in the scientific community, courtesy of neuroscience and MRI imaging and smart researchers. And what they've done is what we all knew anyway, which is that pranayama is a useful set of tools. So what pranayama is, for those of you that don't know, it's a useful set of tools to help to regulate our emotional state and our stress. And the studies that have come out of a couple of universities, surprise, surprise, on the west coast of the United States, I think it's actually I can't remember. This information has added to my practice set. So I've been using some of these practices over the course of the last few weeks. So if you're in the 2020 meditation course group, if you're a paying member or if you're a concession, you don't have to think about this, because it'll appear on Thursday. What we're going to do is start what I'll call the 4-week pranayama challenge. And what the challenge is you use these practices, really simple, easy, take a few seconds things. And you can even just use them when things get difficult, although it's helpful to, have a regular practice, but it's not essential. And you can learn to regulate your, what they call, they've got a name for it now. What is it? Autonomic stimulus. So I've always taught, for simplicity's sake, that stress is like a switch on off. It's more like a dial. And so the plan is to be able to regulate stress with that dial. Morning, Erica. Morning, Colin. And so that's what I'm going to be teaching, with the use of the traditional pranayama, with some techniques that you probably already know. You're already doing it, and you're not, or have done it and aren't aware that you can actually use them. Very smart. And also things like vision. So, some of the meditations I've been teaching, so it turns out, can be, the effect on stress, autonomic stimulus, can be measured. And so you can have this level of control. Okay, so for those of you that aren't in the 2020 meditation course, you're not a subscriber and you're not a concession. It is only paid subscribers and concessions will be able to attend this on the 2020 meditation course. Everybody else, you can just purchase it on the Bromley Mindfulness website, or the 2020 meditation website, or just contact me and I'll send you the link. Okay, so that's for the pranayama course, or the pranayama challenge. And then this coming week, there's a couple of things happening on the 26th. One is that first session for the pranayama course stroke challenge. And the other thing that's happening is meditation at the Warren. Okay, this is for the regular people who attend my meditation classes. This is the Warren is a Metropolitan Police operational hub, so they stay open. And because they also provide space for events, all sorts of events, lots of weddings and stuff like that. But they also do community and so we're a community support group. So throughout this, we've been able to attend. So we attended last week, and we attended the previous Saturday, and we'll also attend this Thursday. So if you're interested in coming along, let me know. If you can't find the link for that, I haven't added them in the description. I'll make a note to do that. Add links to description, and by description I mean the description in YouTube. Unfortunately, because YouTube needs to process the live stream, it might actually go offline, so you might not have access to that for a while. So if you're not, but there's all sorts of links to my sites. You'll find your way if you really want to do it. Right, so which brings me to today's topic, which is connection to others and loving awareness. And let's just have a drink. Sorry about this. So, yeah, connection to others and loving awareness. So I've been teaching a set of practice, well, more like a framework, very simplest framework there is, called Loving Awareness since September, when it popped into my head that that's what I should do. And the way I define it is very simple. It's where we're working towards, what we want to achieve, is a sense of being connected to others and a sense of being connected to nature. So being connected to nature is being connected to everything. So this microphone, it's natural. It's part of nature. Yeah. We got this strange delusion in the human mind that things that human beings create are not natural, which is utterly ridiculous. Morning, Martin. And then what we do is we effectively, in our poor little simple belief system, we've convinced the mind that we're not part of nature anymore, which is just one of the ultimate delusions of human beings. And then, everything, the air you breathe, the body. So here's some. I think every session that I teach, I'll teach some undeniable evidence of how connected you are. Okay, so you've got 30 trillion cells. That's your body. It's a community organism. You have 300 trillion bacteria in your body. And I hope you're sitting comfortable, because you have 3,000 trillion viruses, because viruses are infinitesimally small compared to bacteria. Bacteria are infinitesimally small. You've got 100 billion bacteria in your gut, without which you wouldn't be able to survive, because it's you'll have heard of the gut's flora. Yeah, the flora is like a forest. It's flora, the flowers, flora, the gut, flora. Yeah. So the idea that we're somehow separate from nature is completely wacky, but we end up believing this, and it's the same with other people. Then, so if you can separate yourself from nature, you can separate yourself, which is absurd, but you can also separate yourself from other people. And I, every so often, stumble across the news, and it's just all so divisive. And here's part of the divisiveness, is pointing at other people and saying you're divisive. Think about that for a moment. Crazy. Now the thing is, while we continue to believe this, we can never really be comfortable and happy, because we're social animals that are designed to live in nature. So social animals designed to live as a connected group, designed to live in nature, plants and trees and birds and mountains and streams and rivers and oceans and clouds. That's where we're supposed to be. So we build these cities and ridiculously perceive them to not be part of nature. So the way to release that unhelpful belief, you can't just say to yourself, I will no longer believe that I am separate to other people. No, it's not going to work. What will work is for you to discover the boundaries between you and other people and release them one by one. And really the place to look is in here. Because when you in your own head, because when you recognize the absurdity of the mind, the unhelpfulness of the mind, the way that it pushes back against what you want, the way that if you want something, it gives you the opposite. If you don't believe that, try to get to sleep early because you've got an early flight in the morning. It's going to do it's going to keep you awake. And there are a whole load. Try not to think about pink elephants. It just goes on forever. And so when you become more comfortable with the nature of your own mind, then you become more comfortable with and then you can see how all of the constructs that other people create, many of which are ridiculous and absurd and unhelpful for them and unhelpful for others and unhelpful for us and so on. You can see how it happens because they're just human. So this is the place in the mind. And then the other place is in our interactions with others. So take this pranayama course, for example. It's the way to help you overcome performance anxiety. Performance anxiety is everything from not wanting to encounter a difficult person right the way up to speaking on the internet to potentially millions of people. Although if there's a couple of dozen, that will do me. And what you're able to do then is to regulate your emotions. And so, sometimes the stress is higher and sometimes the stress is lower, but you're able to find the right level for it. And it isn't about switching it off. I know, like I said, I've used the example of a switch. That's only for simplicity. In this pranayama course, we'll be learning to dial in, dial up and dial down on autonomic stimulus, which is stress, basically. Okay, so enough yada yada, and let me just run through a broad range of practices that a kind of a very simple and not challenging foundation to what I'm going to be doing over the course of the next month. And these are things that will help you in your interactions with others and will also help you to understand your own mind and recognize the nature of other people's minds in yours and recognize the nature of your mind in other people's. So if you want to get yourselves comfortable, you either close your eyes or look down past the tip of your nose. You're able to notice time in the sound of the bell. Time passing. And time passing is how we connect to the present moment. It's how we become aware of the present moment. And if you're sitting, if you place your elbows by your side and balance your head as comfortably as possible on top of the spine, place your tongue up against the back of the top teeth, gently in contact with the sharp part of the bottom teeth, and allow yourself to notice the breath rising and falling. And so we're just gently allowing ourselves to become aware of the rising and falling of the breath. And as we notice the breath, ideally in the belly, just notice the belly rising and falling. So we're saying in the mind, rising, falling. And every so often, check in with your physiology. Notice if the elbows are by the side, the head's balanced comfortably on top of the spine. And what we want to do is to begin to regulate the breath. And so to do that, what we're going to do is breathe in for 4 seconds and breathe out for 6. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see a colourful balloon. And so we'll do a couple of minutes of this. This is called 4-6 breaths. It's the easiest entry level practice to regulating the breath. Notably reduces the stress of 50% of the people that try it, and it actually reduces your heart rate and blood pressure anyway. So for those of you on Podbean, what I'll do is I'll count the breaths, teach you how to count 4 seconds and 6 seconds. And it's just gently breathing in for 4 seconds, allowing the belly to inflate. Gently breathing out for 6 seconds, allowing the belly to shrink. So breathing in without the visual aid, what you do is say in your mind 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000. Breathing out 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000, 6, 1000, 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000, 6, 1000, 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000, 6, 1000. We'll just practice that for the next couple of minutes. Don't try to fill the belly. Don't try to empty it. So now fingers on the top of the belly, and just notice it move. notice it rising and falling. And notice how very probably your breath has become very shallow, and that's fine, as expected. You let your mind go free. No goals, no training, no expectations. You're just noticing the movement of the belly, rising and falling. Okay, so now what we're going to do is relax the body. And the way to go about that is to begin by focusing your attention on whatever sensations you can be aware of in your forehead. Notice how the forehead feels. And if it's not immediately obvious, if you're not getting any sensations, what you do is just take the palm of your hand, place it very close to your forehead without actually touching. And just leave it there for a few seconds. When you take your hand away, it's brought your forehead to life. You're noticing the sensations there. What we're going to do is release the tension in the body, moving down the body. Just letting the tension drift out on the out breath. Breathing in normally, breathing out, releasing whatever tension there is in the forehead. At first you don't notice any difference. After about 6 weeks of practice, if you were to do it daily, you would notice. Most of us would, not everyone. We're all different. Breathing in normally, breathing out, releasing tension from the eyebrows. Head balanced comfortably on top of the spine, elbows by the side, feet on the floor, tongue gently up against the back of the top teeth. Breathing in normally, breathing out, releasing the tension from the eyes. Moving down, releasing tension from the cheeks. Mouth and lips. And the jaw. Whatever tightness there is in the jaw. Just let that tightness out. And the throat. And now the entire face. So breathing in normally, breathing out like a wave of relaxation drifting down the face, releasing tension from the eyes, cheeks, mouth and lips, jaw and throat, on separate out breaths. Breathing in normally, breathing out, releasing tension from the back and sides of the neck and the shoulders. And then noticing the chest and back expanding and contracting. And the belly rising and falling. We're going to gently let all of the tension out of the pelvic girdle. Starting with the hips, starting with the thighs. So allow yourself to notice whatever sensations there are in the thighs, the feeling of the thighs against the chair, clothing around it. And on the out breath, gently releasing tension from the thighs. Moving back round the body. Buttocks and hips. The waist, all on the out breath. Just noticing the body on the out breath associates that focus with relaxation. You're training your subconscious to enable you to relax. Releasing the tension from the belly and lower back. Releasing the tension from the abdomen. The chest and upper back. The shoulders again. Back and sides of the neck. Checking your posture. So the shoulders and the back and sides of the neck is the point at which so many elements of your posture will actually affect your tension. All builds up in the shoulders and the neck. So if your feet are flat on the floor, they don't have to be. Comfort first. If your feet are flat on the floor, it gives you stability. You place your elbows by the side, straightens up your back. If you find the most comfortable place to balance your head on top of your neck, you're releasing a lot of the muscular tension because you don't need the muscles to hold the head up. Tongue's up against the back of the top teeth and in contact gently with the sharp part of the bottom teeth. You're naturally breathing in and out through the nostrils. Which is hugely beneficial on its own. The contact with the lower teeth helps to relax the jaw. So you'll get to the point where just adopting this posture, you'll notice your shoulders drop. Key part of the training. The more you do it, the more efficiently you're training your subconscious. And the more regularly it will regulate your stress, your autonomic stimulus, with posture. Just noticing the back and sides of the neck and shoulders, gently letting the tension drift away. Whatever tightness there is, a little bit higher up in the nape of the neck, just at the point where the neck meets the base of the skull. Key massage point. Any tightness there, by far the best thing is to move your head until it drifts away. Just about finding the right point. And again, bring your attention to your forehead. What we're going to do is release tension from 4 key areas in the body where it is most intense. Stress is most intense in these places. Look for others and see how they're standing and sitting when they're stressed out, and you'll see it. Eyes, jaw, shoulders, hands. So to relax the hands, ancient practice, place the thumb and forefinger very gently together, just the tips of the thumb and forefinger, so gently that you could slip a cigarette paper between them. Breathing in normally, breathing out, releasing tension from the eyes, jaw, shoulders, hands. You're just scanning these parts of the body as you breathe out. So as you breathe out, bring your attention to the eyes, attention to the jaw, attention to the shoulders, attention to the hands. And then all in one. Like a wave of relaxation moving down the body. Not overfilling the lungs, not pushing to empty them. and let your mind go free. Just noticing the rising and falling of the belly. Belly rising, belly falling. And then whenever you're ready, noticing time moving through the sound of the bell. In your very own time, return your attention to your surroundings. Okay, now, so one thing I forgot to mention, this coming Thursday, what I'm going to do is try and get a live Podbean broadcast out when I teach the 11 a.m. class at the Warren, all things being equal. Okay, so I hope you found that relaxing. And if you feel relaxed and sleepy, it's working, because that's the consequence of what happens in our modern world where we're all sleep deprived, and it's the stress in the body that keeps us awake. What happens is when you reduce the stress, you feel like drifting off to sleep, or you feel groggy, or whatever it happens to be. Right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow night, mindfulness-based resilience course group, and for those of you that are on the 6-week course at the moment, I'm going to run another 1-hour session to help everybody catch up with last week, because I failed to let someone into the course. Very bad thing there. And then, as well as that, somebody else couldn't make it, so I'm going to redo all of that. Okay, brilliant. Have a fantastic week. Hi, Wendy. Yeah, I've kind of settled on this one because it's just so simple. I don't know why. This background works best. Okay, thanks, Dan, Amanda, Matt. Have a great weekend. Sue, Kel, Caroline. Nice to see you on the broadcast, Wendy. Take care. Hope all is well out there in the West Country. Lovely part of the world. Thanks, Judith. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks, Maxine.